Hey everybody, and welcome to the Addicted to Loot podcast, episode 62, with yours truly, Brian, aka Atomic Zero, and that guy over there, Tom, aka Tomality.
And this dude.
And that guy. He just keeps coming into the boardroom every day. We just keep letting him
week
in.
after week.
He keeps on ignoring the pink slips. He doesn't sign the forms. But anyway,
I
welcome.
haven't been paid in a long time.
But anyway, we are the Addicted to Loot podcast. We are a awesome, fun, fantastic, entertaining, hilarious, even-keeled, easygoing,
even-keeled,
heroic,
that's a new
generous,
one.
courageous,
I've heard all the others, but even-keeled,
handsome, gaming conglomerate,
mentally stable,
gaming conglomerate that tries to bring everything fun and exciting about gaming to you, which is this podcast, our website, which is addictedtoloot.com, our streams, our Twitch streams, Mixer streams, and YouTube streams, and YouTube videos. We streamed so many things. We did lots of things.
Destiny this weekend live in person,
and we do this all for you guys. So thank you and welcome back for joining us each and every week. You guys are simply the best.
Welcome back if you've been away at Disney World, for example.
Some
welcome
people.
Back, everybody.
Yeah, that's not targeted at anybody in the audience. But, so, really cool, exciting news. Super exciting news. Actually, you know what? First, before we do the exciting news, you already brought it up. We actually did some streams this past week. We did some actually pretty cool streams. Actually, I had a pretty cool audience.
Yeah, these weren't shitty.
No, not at all. We actually streamed for quite a bit. We almost streamed for like 6-7 hours on Saturday, which you can find just about anywhere, whether our Twitch, Mixer, or our YouTube page. We actually
Police surveillance video archives.
Everything.
We're there. We're there.
We're going to be a little bit of spoiler territory, but we did cover a brand new release, which was Hand of Fate 2, which actually has Twitch integration. I love any games that has Twitch integration. We had a really cool, fun time. So, Twitch
integration. That was really cool.
Okay, so that's going to also be in my playlist, as you could probably tell from our schedule up on the screen. And if you would like to actually get sneak peeks of our agenda each and every week, you can watch us live at Addicted to Loot, or twitch.tv/Addicted to Loot, or watch the VODs on any one of the 3 major VOD hosting sites that we have. But Hand of Fate 2 has this really cool integration mode. The last time I did this was, I'm going to completely forget the name. It was like big, badass, kicking robot.
Oh,
fighting.
yeah, that silly...
droid robot
super destroy the guy the game.com.
Yeah, oh my god, that's gonna annoy me now. I just saw it. Where the hell was it? Either way, it was a robot fighting game where you basically, it was an arena fighting game where you're a robot with Clone Drone in the Danger Zone. That's what it was.
Clone Drone in the Danger Zone.
I love that game. Highly recommend that game. If you ever see it on a Steam sale, please get it. But it had a cool Twitch integration system where people could earn like some kind of like in-game currency, and they could buy opponents to face you each and every match. So, you know, maybe at the level that you're at, the next match you're supposed to fight 5 guys. Well, everyone in your audience could be like, nope, you're gonna fight 20 guys now, and we're gonna put high-level characters in and all this other stuff. And it was just,
and it's like you almost want to have an audience that is trolling you, like that's
you're
there to actually mess with you.
And people could put like emoticons over the robot's head so you know who did it. Like, oh my god, so much salt. And it was just fun to literally just have an entire audience try to kill me. It was by far the most views or most active watchers I ever had. Great stream, absolutely loved it. Well, when I heard Hand of Fate 2 had a Twitch integration to it, I instantly jumped on it. And it's super cool because, for those who don't know, Hand of Fate 2 is kind of like a design-your-own-story game. It's a game where it's not really deck building, but it's a game that is a story portrayed through cards and mini fighting events. So basically, you are an adventurer going through a mystical land that you actually are going on this voyage through a card system that is done through a mystical dealer entity that's kind of sitting in front of you the entire time. And so what happens is you have numerous scenarios where you have to, you know, pick a card for a chance draw, or you have to pick a decision on, do you help them, don't you help them? Do you go left, do you go right? And the integration for Twitch actually allows it where your audience can vote on every single choice that you can make. So you can actually bring in your audience for every decision. So it's almost like the audience designs their story as it happens, and then the streamer really just plays it out.
And it's more than just like you're looking at the chat and it's saying, oh, people are going for this. It's literally built in the game where like, okay, 33% of your viewers voted option 2. It shows up in the game.
Yes, it is incredible. And actually it increases through chat. It's super easy. But yeah, there's tons of times where, you know, there's 4 cards you have to choose from. There's 3 failures and 1 success. And every once in a while, chat just... everyone piles on the actual one that's the success or the huge success. It's just like, oh my god, chat, high five, oh my god. And then there's just times where I'm sitting there going, oh, don't choose this. Please, for the love of God, don't choose it. Don't choose it. Don't choose it. We want to kick the ogre in the balls. God damn it, people. Yeah. Okay, well, let's just see what happens. And it was just so much fun to have that interaction. And also at the same time, when you're moving across the board, because you kind of take your character's token and you move them across different cards, and a card flips up and you have an event. It's a good event, bad event. It could be a battle, might just be a chance happening, could be just an inn you visit to talk to the barkeeper, things like that. But during those times, there's always 3 options of potential awards or negatives that your chat can vote on. So your chat can actually vote to give you a hindrance or vote to give you a benefit. And unfortunately, this guy over here, who's not getting his bonus, kept on trying to vote me negatives, along with a few other people in chat who actually said, I'm only here to bring chaos.
Yeah.
So
it was like split 50-50. It was like there were those of us who were there to just sow the seeds of discord in your playthrough. There were those who were like, no, I want him to live. I want to see this keep going. Which was really fun because it just becomes this interactive experience. It made me think, I wonder if there's like an alternate world out there where you have Twitch Plays BioWare game, you know, where it's
that would
these
be hilarious.
Games that have these sometimes binary or sometimes something like I was talking, you know, last week about Torment. Something like that, if it was audience based on what you choose, holy shit, like something like that would probably have to be automated where you were the ultimate victim of the Hand of Fate stuff. You were at the mercy of the audience.
Exactly.
There's a kind of separate thing that could exist where you have, again, something like a BioWare game that's almost just playing itself, and the chat is choosing, punch the guy in the face or whatever.
Yeah, he literally uses the story along the lines, kind of like a visual
It's an interactive
novel.
film.
Yeah, I mean, they used to do that before with Twitch Plays Pokemon. There's all different sorts of stuff that people actually were able to automate it and stuff like that.
But when you have the back and forth, I think why Hand of Fate is so great for this is that you have the back and forth of you, the hapless victim playing the game of like, well,
it's just gonna happen. And I'm sitting there going, it's the wrong choice, but all right. Let's play this out. And it's cool. It was a lot of fun. I had a ton of time with it. Hopefully going to be streaming it again sometime soon. If you guys ever want to join myself or Tom or both of us on a stream, you can always catch us at twitch.tv/addictedtoloot. We hate that we don't have a super consistent schedule, but we always try to let you guys know when it does happen. Right. We also took some time to actually stream some Destiny 2, just a little bit of world events, just some general co-oping and things like that. Had a ton of fun. Actually figured it out where we could actually have both of our cams on screen at the same time. It actually worked out really well. Had a few people drop in, a few old friends, a few people actually from my personal RPG group stop by. Marsh, Arch, and a few other people that actually all play in my Sunday RPG group stop in, gave me especially a ton of hell, tons of trolls. They actually apologized later, like we were kind of a-holes on that one. I'm like, it's all fun and games. That's one thing I like about Twitch. You have to kind of have take everything off the chin. It's just fun. If you just don't care, it's great.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we had a fun time, so we're hopefully gonna be doing some more.
Cheers to everyone who came by.
And definitely, so we're definitely gonna be doing. Oh, we had chili too. Chibi, sorry. Yeah. It looked like chili to me. Everything looks like chili. It's all chili at the when you're hungry, everything looks like chili. But
that's words to live by.
So yeah, we had a really great time with it. So hopefully going to be doing some more of that. But also, so there's one level of interaction with us, which is the virtual, which is what we do here, what you guys do on Twitter, through email, everything else how you guys interact with us. Well, coming soon to a Boston near you, Addicted to Loot is going to PAX East 2018. We will be there in person for 3 days, and oh my god, are we stoked. We are
the tagline that I'm going by is if you've ever wanted to just deck me in the face for defending a game that you hate, you can now do it in person.
Or if you ever want to scream at me for how much open world games are actually good, or how much you actually like Call of Duty, or anything else like that, you can do it to our faces. Come April 2018. ATO is going live. We are hitting the streets of Boston.
We're going to be there for almost the whole week. The Thursday to Sunday, or Saturday,
Thursday through Saturday. We'll be there all full days.
Yeah, and it's great because, you know, we've been talking about wanting to do something like this. And it was really funny because I guess I wasn't keeping track of like the tickets or anything like that. I've never gotten anything like this before. And all of a sudden I got like 5 messages in my collective inboxes across Facebook, Twitter, and other places. Hey, PAX tickets are on sale. You going? I was like, Brian, are we going? And he's like, yes. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, because I was literally at my...
Kudos to this guy for being on top of it.
Well, thank you for my coworker, because I was literally at my desk and I just heard... You want PAX tickets? Why? They're on sale. What?
Yeah, and it was one of those things where it was like, you know, oh, I should probably get the tickets. An hour later on Twitter, yeah, Saturday has sold out. Like,
yeah, it's
Saturday only tickets.
But he's like, so Brian, did we get tickets? I already purchased them. For how? For what? For both of us. What? Okay, yeah, we're going. Oh my god!
So yeah,
it was
we're
great.
really looking forward to it. We've got some ideas of what we'd like to do. Certainly,
yeah, we have some definitely.
I'll be coming to where you are, which is it's crazy. But, you know, Boston's only like 4 hours from me and 4 minutes from you.
Well, it's like an hour train ride, so it's like it'd be like an hour and a half if I drove it.
Yeah, so we literally live near it. In the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things, this isn't like, oh, we're going to Europe. You know, this is like,
but yeah,
nearby, and we're gonna be there. We're gonna be really excited to do it.
Yeah, basically, because as Tom already said, to do it, yes. But as Tom already said, this is the very first time, really, either of us is getting to do a big, like, gaming convention or any type of big gaming event, and this is probably the big one on the East Coast specifically. I mean, they do a PAX East and a PAX West, and they now do a PAX Unplugged, which is really, really cool. That actually took place in Philadelphia a couple weeks ago, which is just their board game end of PAX.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they literally just did a PAX on board gaming, which is incredible because some of the board games nowadays. But we're not a board game podcast, so
we should have a side like tabletop.
Addicted to pieces. No.
Addicted to. What would it be?
Monopoly money.
Addicted to Monopoly money. ATM.
But so as I was saying, we have some really cool ideas, some things that we really want to do, but we're definitely going to be going just. Talking to whoever wants to talk to us.
Board of loot.
There you go. Board of loot.
But board is spelled board.
Yeah, I like board. Oh, that's why you guys listen to us, for all the witty, really super quick on the spot thoughts. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some really cool things. We're gonna be, interviewing both indie developers, major developers, anyone who's really listening to talk to us at all. We actually have some mobile equipment that we're going to try to do live interviews for, that we're actually going to be able to...
If nothing else, we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there just talking to people. So we're going to be doing a recap each day. That will either go out both live and or recorded on our numerous audio hosts. So we're actually going to do it. We're going to try to do tons of interviews, all different other stuff. But also we're going to do different things where we can actually do, hand out some cards, shake some hands, just get to know people. And if anyone recognizes us there, please come in. And I know
extremely hug friendly. Like, that's my currency.
Yes. So please, none of us bites that I know of. So, but if any of you audio listeners know us by our voices, please give it a shot.
Yeah.
We'll tell you how close you are.
See if you can pick us out. See if you can pick us out.
Are you Brian? No. Are you Brian? No.
Are you Brian?
This should be so much easier.
Bob.
But yeah, no, we are incredibly excited. As PAX gets closer, we'll be basically doing some hype shows as well, because as things get announced, as things get noticed, we will actually be going on trying to bring that up to date, keep you guys up to date with that, kind of say like what are we going to be targeting for. But yeah, we will be standing in line for the things that you wish you could be standing in line for. And we will stand in line for those hours to make it happen. We stand
in line for those who can't.
Exactly. That is our courtesy to the gaming world. But no, we're really hoping, I'm really looking forward to see a lot of people, meet a lot of people, and just overall just really enjoy this wonderful thing that is gaming.
Basically, let us know if you're going to be there.
Exactly, yeah. If anyone, let us know. Twitter, email, anything. If you want to hang out with us, hey, come grab lunch. Let's go out, get, dinner, lunch, drinks, hang out, whatever. Just come let us know. We would be more than happy to just hang out with anyone. But with that, we're going to move on to another great and awesome cause. Not cars. Great and awesome cars. Great and awesome cause. Humble Bundle is doing a care package bundle. Now, what do you think of, like, oh, care package? So you're going to send it to your real stupid kid in college? No. Care package, meaning...
Stupid kid. No, you send it to your smart kid in college.
No, 100% of all payments raised through this Humble Care package bundle will go towards providing emergency response, medical care, community rebuild, and community rebuilding in the wake of natural disasters in Mexico, Puerto Rico, Texas, Florida, and a lot more. So, literally, 100% of everything going to a great and incredible cause. Now... For the price, I know typically Humble Bundles run from as much as you can pay onward. These ones, or this one I should say, starts at $30. And now you may go, but wait, that's a lot for Humble Bundle. That's actually a super lot for Humble Bundle. Why would I do it? Well, hold on.
No.
For the price of $30 or more, which all goes to an incredible cause, you can get games such as Starbound, Darkest Dungeon, Stardew Valley. Let's see, what are some of the other...
Her Story, Minecraft Story Mode.
Armada.
Pony Island is a great secret.
Shadowrun, Magica.
Shadowrun Returns.
Psychonauts.
Machinarium. Yeah, Magica. Jesus, $30 for Psychonauts alone. Like, these
if you tallied all this stuff up on Steam right now, you'd probably have well over a couple $100 worth of gear.
27 games worth over $385. Or 30, and these are some legendary games. So you got to go with this.
Yeah, this is being absolute. This is almost something that I own part of these games. I'm still thinking about doing it just to buffer the rest of them out. They've already their goal was to raise 300,000. It's been up. Okay, let's see, about 14 hours, and it's already at $388,000. Yeah. So this is what Humble Bundle does, and this is why we are super incredibly proud of being a Humble Bundle partner. We love that we get to work with these guys. Really hope that you guys get to as well. Please, either go straight to Humble Bundle or go through our Humble Bundle links through our Addicted to Loot website. Please check it out. Goes to an extremely good cause. And like I said, if you could be disappointed by this bundle, you should not be listening to us. I mean, realistically, what are you doing here?
Yeah, these are.
I'm here because the tonation of your voice is relaxing.
I mean, it happens. We're good background material, I've heard.
Here at Addicted to Loot.
One thing, that's right, Terry. One thing that I really like about Humble Bundle is these almost all of these games have a DRM free option. For those who might not know, if you for some reason or another don't use Steam or don't like the idea of Steam, which is something where you buy the game through the platform and it can only be launched through that platform.
Damn government controlling all video games.
Holding keep an iron grip on my wallet by holding me away from my
You can pry it out of my cold damn Apple II.
Apple IIe, damn it. But if you don't like it, or in a case that I found a lot, I like to sometimes buy games for other people, and I don't know if they have Steam, or sometimes I know they don't use Steam. So I like having just a raw exe or zip or whatever, and it's like, here is this game, just install it and play it. You don't have to launch it through Steam. And so most Humble games have that option.
Yeah, the Cliff Note version of that is basically you can get an actual copy, an actual electronic copy of the game versus so that you can just install it on any one of your systems. You can install it on your desktop, on your laptop, all of the above.
One thing that, again, that's the flexibility is what I really like with Humble. Or you can have the Steam code. So if I got a game and it's like, I'm just going to redeem it through Steam.
Yeah, you basically elect what you want. If you want a Steam key, you basically click pay.
Steam key.
Within 3 seconds they go, click to unlock your Steam key, install, and you're playing. I mean, it's that easy. Love it. Humble Bundle, incredible website. Could not love them enough. Yeah. Please go check it out.
So again, we're not just shilling for it because we're partners. It's like when Green Man Gaming has deals that we love, Humble Bundle has convenience that we love. These are actual things that we genuinely use.
Generally love. And like I said, this all goes to a good cause. Even if you don't do it through our portal, please go on to Humble Bundle directly and support this cause. Yeah. Absolutely incredible package, incredible games, incredible cause. Moving on to a little less controversial thing. for now.
Yeah, just wait.
Overwatch, once again, going into the spirit of giving, is going free this weekend, and that is the weekend of the 17th through the 20th. So if you have the Battle.net application, you could, starting Friday the 17th, you can download Overwatch and play the Game of the Year edition, which we don't really know what you get with the Game of the Year edition.
We noticed this just before we started. It's like Overwatch Game of the Year edition free this weekend, so I don't know what's different about it.
Yeah, like what's it? It's like, does it come with a different electronic shiny cover? Yeah. Like, is it hollowed out something?
The play button
is
orange instead of blue.
Maybe that's what it is.
But truthfully, and I said this on Twitter too, if anyone has ever even like slightly thought, oh, I want to know what Overwatch maybe kind of is, just take advantage of what the
you have. Yeah, you have no excuse. Yeah. You literally, and if you really want to, like, I don't know what to do, and I don't have any friends. We have 2 friends right here.
We just at the same time, like, hello.
Come on. But no, you literally just let us know. If you want a curator to walk you through the mystical world of Overwatch, let us know. I mean, seriously. Woo.
Overwatch, even if you just want to have the feeling of what is this like, you can do bot matches. You don't have to play against people. A little known secret about Overwatch, you can turn chat off. It's hidden in the in the
You can turn chat off. You can turn all voice off.
Yep.
You could literally just be playing in a void of a game, and it's still incredible. You could literally...
That's my kind of game.
If you just want to check the box off of your gaming bucket list of, yes, I played the almighty Overwatch, do it this weekend. Have some fun. Go to town.
Especially because I know there are a couple people, and I can understand, there are a couple people who are cynics. Like, what's the deal with Overwatch? Like, what is the big deal with it?
I only like my games with indie titles, man.
Well, just try it, see it. It might click for you, it might not, but I definitely encourage people to try this free weekend. Also, I can only imagine, this is kind of a segue here, I can only imagine that this weekend is going to coincide with the release of Moira. Probably maybe Blizzard World, I hope, because I'm really excited for Blizzard World, so I want to...
Was Blizzard World live in the beta area?
And the PTR, I don't
PTR
know.
development area. I know Moria.
Mine's Moira is live on the PTR.
Yeah, so that's why I think this weekend might just be the start of Myra. But I don't really know if it'll be the start for Blizzard World. I think they're probably going to be holding that back for something special.
The thing is, it's again, we were talking about this last week, and now here we are. It's November 14th, so it's not going to happen. But I thought maybe they would do the Blizzard World with the Blizzard skins this month, and then do Christmas skins next month. It probably is going to be the case.
That would make sense, because then they can kind of branch the 2 gaps.
Yeah, it's late in the month, though, so probably what they're going to do is they're going to do the Christmas one in December and Blizzard World in January, if I had to speculate.
Yeah, which is very true. But like I said, it's going to be a free weekend. You can log on. You can get to see what you're doing, get to see what you're missing. And if anything else, you can get to figure out what the heck your favorite Blizzard hero is, or Overwatch hero it is.
They're kind of like
superheroes. But you can just let us know. If anything else, you can be like, hey, I tried it for a day, hated it, also, but Junkrat's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a game we talk about on here probably once a week, if not every other week.
It's been trending, so yeah.
Yeah, it's still a game almost 2 years, a year and a half after it came out that I'm still very happy to play. So.
Yep, same here. It's one of those things where I played it a lot or I don't play it at all, but when I touch it, even for one game, I will marathon
my meter
it
is
for that
gone
later.
Now. It's always extremes. It's either, I'm playing Overwatch or, I'm playing The Sims.
Yeah, you're going back and forth. But another little interesting news piece about Overwatch, a kind of interesting little controversial topic coming out in Overwatch in the sense of there's a new way to get banned in Overwatch that people are, I think rightfully so, have mixed feelings about.
This is going to be interesting to talk about.
Yeah, because I have mixed feelings about it as well. It's called the one-trick ban, or the one-character ban. So what this is it within competitive play, so that is the area that you can play within, that you can play within, that's basically focused on competitive play, that you're there to have a competitive rank, you're there to win games, you're there to increase your rank, so on and so forth. You're there for a non-leisurely play. You're there for salt, grindy, sweat, pulsing gameplay.
Which is fun.
But we mostly stick to random heroes.
Yeah, I prefer to have the loosey-goosey fun of Overwatch, but Overwatch...
The loosey-goosey fun of Lucio?
Loosey-goosey, that was unintentional. So I don't think that one counts.
Alliteration.
I don't think that one counts. But it was subliminal. But I like the loosey-goosey fun of Overwatch. But basically, all I'm saying is that the competitive play is fun in the intense way, like playing sports.
There are times when I do like it. I
mean,
mean,
you go outside, you shoot hoops, or you play basketball.
Yeah, exactly. There's completely different things. But this one trick ban is basically focused on competitive play, where if someone is only playing one character, basically for too long, you could potentially get banned for negative play or for harmful play. Yeah, so this came to light when an extremely prevalent Torbjorn main streamer, gamer, just personality in the gaming world got banned for this exact thing because he was only playing Torbjorn. Which, okay, if you're gonna get banned for a hero, yeah, all right. But
I'm surprised it wasn't May
or Bastion. Yeah.
But
so
yeah,
it's like, all right.
Torbjorn's probably the third offender.
So, but the reason, so what Blizzard has come out and said for this is that they're trying to prevent people from, purposely tanking matches, negatively impacting matches in the sense of people are not playing supports because they don't want to play support. They're purposely handicapping the team. That they really don't have the team's interest in mind because they're only playing one character, and then other people don't get to play that character, so on and so on and so on. Now, here comes the coin flip, because, once again, the community is kind of split on this. And I can see that because, for the reasons they said, occasionally you should be playing the other team. You should be playing your team. You should be figuring out what you should do and what you shouldn't do, because competitive play doesn't mean you go in there with a set team. Competitive play means you might be randomly assembled with other people. Those other people might have different strengths, and you have to play differently together.
Well, Overwatch is also very much a game that's situational. Like, oh my god, we've got this impenetrable wall.
If you're on offense,
what heroes should we switch to?
If you're on offense as Torbjorn, most people are going to want to hit you in some way, shape, or form. It's just how it works. I mean, don't get me wrong, it could work, because I've had some random hero matches where I went ape with Torbjorn on attack, but still.
Well, like Mercy right now can be offensive.
Yeah, which is interesting.
She
but
can be DPS.
So because of the fact that you're paired randomly with people, I could see how only marathoning one character every single game could be, troublesome for your other teammates. Mm-hmm. It'd be one thing if you're the best player in the world with it and you have like 100% win rate. Then then what's the fun of it? For me personally, the flip side of the coin though is it's a game where you have an all pick on heroes. If you only all pick a one-person hero, or if you're on a set team where you only play with the same people every single time, and you're always a support, and you're happy to play the support, and you're a good support, but your support is either Lucio or Mercy, and you just played 7 games straight of Lucio because that's how you support your own team, which is your own team strategy, you shouldn't be punished for that. I feel like if your team strategy is based around you playing one or two characters that you're just super good with, then what's the harm with it? Like, it shouldn't be an automatic trigger thing. Like, that's what I don't get. Like that.
I think that this
it's
might
like it's
be
like TF2. It's like, oh, you played Scout too many times. You're a horrible human being. It's.
Well, I was really thrown off in a frustrating way as a journalist. I was thrown off in the way of the title was you could get banned for playing just one hero. I'm like, wait, what? It was
it's not a great
clickbait. Yeah. Clickbaity. Like I clicked on, I'm like, excuse me, like I
like, which hero is this?
Yeah, and then it says in competitive play, this one person was playing Torbjorn at the expense of his team. I'm thinking, well, this sounds like it's situational. This sounds like it's something that just happened. Like this one guy was being a jerk, and now people are saying, "Oh my God, it's a bannable offense to just play one hero." Yep. I don't know if this is getting blown out of proportion. I mean, it's possible it might not be, and it's possible it might be, kind of what you're saying. Like, people could be getting wrongly, maybe subjectively wrongly banned because, boy, this person is the best fucking Doomfist you've ever met in your life.
Exactly.
And really, every time he's there, he comes to play. He is ready, and he will, I don't care what the team configuration is, this guy decimates. And it's like, yeah. And then there's the next tier up.
Okay, yeah.
What?
Your entire... Please put forth your debate. I have no further words, Your Honor.
Well, that's how I feel about this. If this was a court of law, I'd be like, do you have an objection? The plaintiff says, I don't know. Truthfully, you do have the next tier up, and you know, we were talking about this even more before we started, where it is if you're literally pro, you're literally Overwatch like League, and it's like, this is Mr. Hanzo. This guy is the best Hanzo player. He really that's why he's here. We have this guy. It doesn't play with what Overwatch is as a game, which is a hero switching game, conditional to the way the field is going. It's so weird. It's so many different things. The problem is, like, coming from the position as someone who pretty much only plays the random heroes, to me, Overwatch is a game of, like, here's the scenario, here's the puzzle you have to solve.
Figure it out.
You're D.Va with 4 Winstons, and they're a team of Bastions. How are you going to solve this?
Yeah, how do you figure it out?
Okay, and then one of you dies, and okay, I got a Widowmaker, so this will help. Or I got a Genji, this will help counter the Bastion.
I wonder if this is specifically the same character throughout matches, because realistically, you know, Overwatch has a mechanic where the more you play the same character, the more likely you are to get your ultimate ability, because your meter charges, you die, and your meter stays right there.
Right.
If you switch a character, you lose all your buildup of your meter. So to me, it'd be pointless to have to be forced to switch around a character mid-match, because you would want to bank up your ultimate ability meter.
Well, yeah, like if you're playing a Symmetra or somebody who's got this kind of really powerful ultimate but is squishy as hell, you're gonna like keep coming back as Symmetra, because it's like, no, but I've almost got that teleport up, I've almost got that shield up, or whatever. So
some people's ults can be matchmaking. I mean, like, sometimes one well-landed ult can be it. Yeah. I was always that Mercy player. I was that Mercy player, just
my entire team has died. Whoops!
Whoop! Hit the button, fly away. That was
to get the hell out of there.
Every Mercy highlight I ever had was always whoop, bing, fly away.
And it's like, I don't know. I come from 2 different positions, because again, I love the all random heroes, but I also, if you look at my Overwatch stats, I have a severe amount of my time is only Lucio.
You know what I
don't like? It's like Lucio, and then it's like Pharah.
You know what I really don't like? Which is a stupid thing not to like. When you're in all heroes mode, the random heroes mode, it doesn't track your stats.
Yeah, I know. So I go back and I look, and I'm like, what do you mean I've only played 20 minutes of Tracer?
Like, I really wish
it's like,
I really wish it would just have, you know, it banked all of them, but in a separate category, because obviously you don't want it to mess up your, like, actual stats, but it would be cool to see how you do in random, because I would love to know, there's heroes...
Who have I lasted
like, there's heroes that I never expected I'd be good with, that I have good games with, and I would love to actually compare the two between my, like, real play stats versus my random hero stats to see, like... Because then you can see what's your actual best hero versus what you think is your best hero.
Because, like I was talking about 2 or so weeks ago when I was... doing the Halloween stuff, Mercy was who I was playing the most.
Which Mercy?
Partially because of the skin, but also, like, I felt
the Witch Mercy.
Really good playing, I felt like I could stay alive once I got Mercy a lot. Like, my lifespan as Mercy in the all random mode probably is the longest versus the other heroes. Maybe Tracer, but... Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I think it may be a case where it's something that's getting blown out of proportion, but if it isn't the case... Even then, was this guy being a jerk about it? Was this guy like, hey, I know you play Torbjorn, but right now we really need just one person to play.
Yeah, maybe who was that one guy in chat? They're like, can you please play a different character? No, you're all horrible people.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
We don't need a Torbjorn right now. This situation does not call for it. But you know what would really help is if we had a tank or something.
Torbjorn's a tank. Look at his ultimate.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at all the armor he gives. He's a support character.
And I would ban the guy on the spot.
Look at his shotgun ability. He's an offensive character.
Yeah. Torbjorn's a healer. He can throw out a little bits of armor.
He can heal his turret, therefore he's a healer.
He's a healer, yeah.
Bam! But yeah, so those are the cool 2...
Torbjorn's the ultra class.
The ultra class. He has no class.
The Ubermensch.
He's a slob because he has no class. Hey, but no. So
they should do that. They add an extra. Well, they have Roadhog. I was gonna say if they add like a really messy
Roadhog, Junkrat
in a 5th class, it's like, he's a slob. He has no class.
Yeah, but
I want my Junkertown Queen.
I know. But unfortunately, that's all we have for the world of Overwatch this week. Another cool reminder is that StarCraft 2 is going free to play.
Starting today.
Basically starting today, as of this podcast, which is the 14th of November. Log on to battle.net, install the game, at least claim the game, and ta-da, you have StarCraft 2 free. Boom.
And now, just to specify, it's Wings of Liberty. The Wings of Liberty
campaign. Some of the you can play co-op campaign for Wings of Liberty, and you can also do multiplayer.
Yeah, the ranked multiplayer.
Behind exactly. So there's still 2 additional expansions or DLCs, depending on
if you Liberty.
Yeah, if you already own Wings of Liberty, which I do, you could get the second game for free. So you get 1 level up. I don't know if you have the second game, if you get the third game, but at least you can either get Wings of Liberty for free or Heart of the Swarm for free if you already have Wings of Liberty. So
I'm really excited for this. I liked the little bit of StarCraft that I played, and I like RTSs. We talked about it last week too, but this is something I definitely want to do. And it's not something where you have to go in and claim it. It's only there for a week or whatever.
Yeah, you basically.
This is now StarCraft 2.
Yeah, ultimately, once you get it, it's there. Awesome, great. And RTS is kind of a dying breed. Unfortunately, it's one of the things that I originally grew up on because it used to be that almost all computer games were some form of RTS, at least at one time.
We were talking about this before the episode. To me, RTSs are like the most quintessential computer game.
Yeah,
next to maybe text adventure, it's like
when I
think of a computer game.
Yeah, when I had my Windows 95 and Windows 98, dating myself, I was playing RTSs. I don't think I didn't besides Myst. I don't think I had a non-RTS game. Yeah, everything I had: Warcraft, StarCraft, Red Alert, Command and Conquer, Earth 2150 or 2140, whatever the hell that was called, Age of Empires, Age of Wonders,
those are the formative years.
Age of Mythology.
I had a lot.
Every one of those games is an RTS.
One thing that my parents bought a lot of for
Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3.
Shareware discs.
Yes.
So you'd have demos of 100 games and this was I remember the quintessential one had Doom, and so it was literally the shareware version of Doom was the entire first episode of Doom. It wasn't level 1 and 2. It was the entire one was hey, try our game. Here is the entire game. It's do you want more? And so shareware used to be really, really liberal with what it gave you. But I think that's what kind of cultivated why I love things like Itch, where it's just oh my god, there are a billion games. I'm just gonna try them all. But yeah, going back to RTSs, that's a very computer game genre.
Almost every single game on the shelf when I was originally playing games, every single one was just about an RTS. I mean, it was very hard for us to find one that wasn't an RTS. I'm kind of finding it hard to figure out one that was an RTS. I remember the very first time I ever had to buy a
RTS, by the way, for anyone who might not be familiar, real-time strategy.
So anyone who might not know the breed or the strategy. Age of Empires, so StarCraft 2 is probably the most recent RTS that everyone would have a good chance of knowing. So StarCraft 2 is probably the most famous RTS contemporarily. Right now.
Command and Conquer. Well, even that's not contemporary.
That's not contemporary. Yeah, Command and Conquer 2 was when I was in middle school. When we were in middle school, I think, somewhere in there.
Well, I remember playing someone having it on a PlayStation when I was in
To be fair, there's Command and Conquer, there's Command and Conquer 2, there's Command and Conquer Siberian Sun, there's Red Alert. I mean, there's tons of Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer was a ginormous RTS series, so
I always liked Command and Conquer because of its, especially Red Alert, because of its ridiculous.
It was just completely
acted,
it was. They jumped the shark in every scene.
Yeah, there's this hilarious. It's one of my favorite. It's so underrated. One of my favorite clips is Tim Curry is the head of the Soviets.
Red Alert 2.
And Red Alert 2 or 3. 2. He's the head of them, and. This is one of the cutscenes, and he's doing this horribly acted Russian accent, and he's like, I'm going to take our people to the one place that humanity has not conquered yet, the one place that's safe, space. It's just it's hilarious. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, then you have Yuri's Revenge. You have all the good ones, but yeah, they were such great games. I used to love those games, but it's unfortunate because RTSs now are a dying breed. RTSs, you don't find them. StarCraft 2 was probably the last AAA RTS. I mean,
oh yeah.
People say, well, Total War's an RTS. It's kind of.
don't put it.
It's a mixture of RTS and Grand Strategy. I actually think it's closer to Grand Strategy than it is to RTS.
Now, Grand Strategy is stuff like Paradox games, so like Crusader Kings,
Stellaris, what was it? Not Age of Space, Age of something Legends.
Oh, yeah.
Something Legend, something Space.
All those
Endless
fun Legend.
things. Endless Legends and Endless Space. All those fun things. Classic 4K games. There's
4K. So 4K. Yeah. So you have RTS,
4X.
Grand Strategy, and 4X.
Yeah.
All
of
RTS,
which.
RTS is StarCraft. Grand Strategy is these big Paradox, like, oh my god, it's almost like Risk.
But those are most Paradox games are 4X games.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the thing. So Grand Strategy and 4X are about the same.
I guess when I think 4X, I think of Civ.
Yeah, but
Civ is very much the build your empire, get your crops. Also, there's military.
Explore, exterminate, expand.
Extract?
No.
Extinction?
Extort? I don't know.
Extort?
Something like that. But basically, it's just all different levels.
Explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate.
Yeah. So, but they're basically subdivided in two. But RTS is really just the dying breed, it's a dying genre, and that's because through some research I was just happened to be doing, because I'm just really curious why they're not around anymore. RTS is very much it's a dying breed because there's just no return on it. Historically, this is going to sound weird, but historically, RTSs had extremely little profit return to them. Most RTSs did not make a lot of profit. They didn't have tons of return. They didn't get a lot of profit margin or all that other fun stuff. Which is weird to say since almost all games, at least when I remember playing them, were all RTSs. So I figured, oh, RTSs must be great. But maybe it's a contemporary thing where most RTSs now do not get their money back. Most of the time, they actually do not perform well. Even if it's a good RTS game, they don't make their money back. They don't have longevity. Which is a shame, too, because I used to love it so much. And I still do. I still love a classic RTS game just because, most strategy games are turn-based in the sense that no matter what's happening, you always have some time to stop and think. Which might be abnormal because you could literally pause a game for 5 weeks and go, I finally figured out how to do this turn. But in a real-time strategy, it's just constantly shit. Oh crap, he's over there now.
I'm trying to build this thing, and I'm getting attacked, and I gotta focus on.
You have to considerably focus on what you're doing when there's no pause button. It's constant. Yeah. You have to think on the fly. Most of the time, it ends up with you getting your butt handed to you for people that can do 200 clicks per minute because. Yeah. StarCraft, professional StarCraft players they're at 400 clicks per minute or something stupid. If you ever watched, I remember watching a video on the world's, he was either the best StarCraft player or the fastest one. I think it was more the fastest one. They showed a video that was two-screened of what you saw on his screen and just his keyboard. And his fingers.
Oh, I saw that. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, this is literally going like this.
And the screen is just jostling around to the point where you can't focus on anything because it's just constantly jumping between things. And I'm sitting there going, how the hell do you do this? And that's the level of real-time strategy. There's no time to think. You have to be. Yeah. You have to have that level of micromanagement just about at any given time. Which leads us into my next heading here is there's a really cool super indie RTS title right now that is almost going viral in the gaming community. It's called They Are Billions. And my god, this game is just beautiful. It's a game where you basically are, you're the ruler or leader of like a steampunky civilization that's surviving in a zombie-infested world, and you just basically have to survive. You have to survive for the time period. Base is 100 days, could go 120, could be 80, but you have to survive that long. You have to make it work. You have to balance resources, defenses, expansion, exploration. It's the whole thing. It's such a glorious little title that came out of nowhere and just exploded in the past couple of days. I mean, it's trending huge. I mean, some of these videos have 200,000 views on YouTube. They're really exploding. Super tiny little indie developer that really isn't known for much, but it's going to get known for this game. I can tell you that. I can almost guarantee it. Such a cool game with what it is. Because literally at the point, like let's say you're playing 100 days, this title gets its name because at whatever limit you're playing up to, the final day, you get hit on all sides by a billion zombies, just about. So usually what happens is every couple days or every tens of days, something like that, you get hit by a giant swarm. That swarm will pick potentially the weakest defense in your entire civilization, and you have to defend it. You have to fight off that wave. Okay, but that's maybe 1 or 2 walls max, depending on how you're expanding. The very last day, every single wall that you have will have a swarm size that's probably 10 times the size of any other swarm on every wall at the same time, instantaneously. So basically, the last day is you just hope you live, because you really don't have... Because once they break down the wall, the way this game also works is the death spiral in this game is so quick that it could be... Once one zombie reaches one house, your entire game is over, because that house basically gets infested. All the people in that house, so low-tier houses have 4, high-tier houses can have 8 or 10. All of those people basically instantly spawn a new zombie that's a higher level. So they're a runner zombie. And if you put all your houses next to each other, it's a... You now have 400 zombies in your compound, and you just get wiped instantly.
Yikes.
So, and the best part about this game, you can always tell a good game by whether you get, salty or just competitively like, oh, you got me. You know what I mean? I don't know what's the best way of saying it. Like, this game, whenever people say they fail, they never go, damn game, oh, this mechanic's stupid, or oh, this is dumb.
I would write a bad review.
Yeah, they all go, damn, that was my fault. Every single time they go, this game will just prove to you, you left something out. You left something open. You had a weak point. And it just, people don't get salty about it. They just want to play again because, like, oh, I learned something. Because, oh, I didn't expand this wall far enough, or I didn't research quick enough. Everyone I've watched play this game loves it, and I'm super excited to get my hands on it. I mean, this is a title that is going so big, you can't get a key right now. Like, people have been pre-purchasing the betas, the early access, everything about this game, and the developers just can't give out enough codes. Like,
cool.
I mean, it's going to be great for them. I'm super excited for it. When I finally do get a copy, it will be, I might stream it, or I might just do videos on it.
It sounds like a stream-friendly kind of game.
But if you go on right now, there's, like I said, like, for me personally, I've been watching a YouTuber and streamer called Splattercat. You can go and watch his stuff. Really great things. If you just want to see what this game is like now, you can find a few different people that are really good at it. That is just fun to watch. And it's just a cool little game. This is a game that... you understand what it is and how to play it within a couple minutes. You will never know how to master it. That's the glory of this game, and that's why I love it. What does it look like? I mean, it's definitely very...
Oh, no, I said it's like a roguelike.
Oh, I thought you said...
You know what? That's a good question. What does it look like?
No, but people have compared it to a roguelike in the sense of you just constantly die a lot, and you just learn something new, but you don't actually unlock anything. Every time you survive a map, you have to get to a certain skill or a certain end score to unlock the next map. And then each map has different things, and each map is procedurally generated too.
That's very roguelike.
So people go, they'll start a map, they'll explore their general surrounding real quick, and go, "There's no point." Then they'll start a new game, start a new game. They'll keep on going because you can just tell what's a stupid map, what's an undefendable map. If you're if you have no choke points around your map, and you're like, "Well, screwed." Boom, next game. So it's interesting. Yeah, it's such a cool little game. I mean, it's really like this brings it back to the heyday of like RTSs. Like it doesn't even look like it's. It doesn't look like a modern day game where like it's super shiny and everything's 3D. It's just you're isometric. You're completely locked in one viewpoint, and everything is just very much kind of like that third.
Well, that sounds good for focus.
Oh yeah, like that third person kind of top down, where it's not like directly over the top, but it's not directly on the side. It's kind of like that 45-degree angle top down view of everything, and everyone's just a little tiny guy walking around, and every time you click on the guy, he says some weird little tagline like "For the humans." That's just like they move around all the time and.
It's funny, not to shift gears, but like rewinding just a tiny little bit, thinking about how you said, all RTSs aren't really, it's not that they're dead, but they aren't really viable. MOBAs pretty much came of RTSs.
That's what actually people said. Some people actually blame the decline of RTSs on MOBAs.
I can understand that argument. I wouldn't say that it's the decline of RTSs.
I wouldn't say it's like the whole reason, but you could draw a correlation to some of it.
Yeah, I mean, literally, Dota was a Blizzard. Warcraft.
Warcraft. 3. It was it was Blizzard.
Yeah. But I was going to call Blizzard 3.
Oh no, yeah.
Blizzard's game, Blizzard Watch.
But yeah, it was an
Blizzard of
original.
the Storm.
It was original Blizzard mod, and then that launched really the MOBA generation.
And so it came from literally reskinning RTS characters and maps and tile sets and things. But yeah, just an interesting little side thought.
Thank you, cool. We kind of agree. Every time I hear the word MOBA, I start throwing burning puppies. I couldn't put it better myself.
Yeah, I ran hot and cold on MOBAs. Earlier this year, I was playing a lot of Hero of the Storm.
Yep, we played a lot of it.
I get the names all mixed up. Here, HOTS.
It's Heroes of the Storm.
Yep. Hero of the Swarm. And I like that because it kind of was like MOBA, but the cool parts,
It got straight to the fighting.
Yeah, it was like, and again, we played it with bots. So it was MOBA without the dicks. MOBA with the cool parts without the dicks. Is
Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Storm's tagline. If I were designing the back of the box for Heroes of the Storm
in giant bubble letters,
I would just say MOBA without the dicks. I just have like a little illustrated penis.
E for everybody.
Yeah. What EC, early childhood.
It's ARC. Remember, Dawn of War 3 has finally cemented that hatred. Wait, Dawn of War 3? What?
Dawn of War 3, that came out this year, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's not a MOBA. Oh, but okay, I can see what you're saying. They took an RTS and made it into a MOBA. If that's what you're saying, I completely agree.
Oh, you said that during your Dawn of War 3.
They basically made a they MOBAized it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, which is terrible. Which is actually one of the worst things ever.
Yeah. So you didn't play more of that, huh?
Nope. I literally actually just watched a video today on Dawn of War 3, thinking, let's see what happened. Let's see. It's been like God knows how long. I'm like, let's just see if it changed. Watched like 5 minutes and went, nope, it didn't change. Just clicked it off.
Yeah. Well, you can go back into our archives and hear that review.
If you really wanted to. Well,
we're here, aren't we?
Yep. Empty out your pepper and dish up your salt. It's time for the headline that's taking the gaming world by storm, and that is Star Wars Battlefront 2 and the giant steaming pile of crap, which is EA. Well,
let's just say this right out of the gate. We bill ourselves. One of our little points of pride is that we like to be positive. We like to be upbeat. That's like one of our selling points.
Positive, objective.
Objective, positive. Try to see the silver lining. I personally tend to play devil's advocate more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, this is testing that.
Yeah, this is pretty bad in a lot of ways. So here's the long and the short of it for anyone who might be under a rock and just doesn't know what's happening with Star Wars Battlefront 2 and EA.
Or has probably put up like a blocker on Chrome or something.
Or basically to prevent all of this.
To do with this.
So Star Wars Battlefront 2 had issues with the point where people are now calling them, it wasn't an issue with microtransactions, they're calling them macro transactions, which I actually think is a really cool tagline. Whoever came up with that, you are a genius, because it's getting to the point where Star Wars Battlefront 2 is an $80 game that even after paying $80, you had to pay a substantial amount for 90% of the heroes, where they said, oh, but you could unlock them with gameplay. But when calculated out, the amount of gameplay that you would need to unlock like one hero, or no, how did the guy put this? I'm trying to remember the way he did it. He said, in the amount of time that you could watch all the original 3 movies, the new 3 movies,
the Clone Wars series and there was one other TV something
series.
Else, yeah.
There's a whole nother TV series. If you marathoned those...
Star Wars Rebels, probably.
Yeah, Rebels, Clone Wars, the TV series, that means every season with the original 6 movies, that's how long it would take to unlock like 2 or 3 additional hero characters.
And we're talking Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker. And
yeah, that's like one.
It's one thing... Because it's easy to look at this, especially from the outside, and to see these posts of people saying, "You mean I got to play for 40 hours to unlock Darth Vader?"
Not even 40 hours. It's far more than that. It's
or
like,
whatever.
Yes.
Point being that you can look at it from the outside and say, "Oh, this person's just whining. They're being a whiny fanboy." This is a Star Wars video game. You bought a Star Wars video game with the intention of, I want to be the Star Wars. I want to be the guy.
And the main problem is you paid $80 to have a hero character unlocked that you don't even get to pick. It comes base with one hero character, and it probably has like what, close to 20 hero characters or something, or 15
maybe
or 20.
half that, but it's still.
I think it's more than 10 plus.
Yeah.
And each one of those has an incrementally higher release point. The more
it's like if you want to play as the protagonist of the campaign, it's less.
Yeah, if you want, the more you want the hero, the more expensive it is, both from a monetary standpoint and from a time play standpoint. This also goes on top of the fact that Star Wars Battlefront 2 features a pay-to-win system in the form of its loot crates, or I forget what they're called, chests, that you can pay to unlock, and those give you they arguably and statistically give you an unfair advantage in multiplayer if you unlock some upgrades, which all these do. So this game is forcing you to basically pay to win on this multiplayer, and then unfairly grind out to the point where to grind out your favorite heroes or pay an astronomical amount on top of the $80 price tag it already features.
EA's counter argument.
Yes, and this is where the story really starts to blow up. So
this is where, like, if that wasn't enough, like, so that's a standard, like, AAA bullshit kind of thing.
So this is where it all happens. You basically, like what Tom said, any AAA company out there right now could basically do that, and people probably wouldn't bat an eye. They would be pissed about it, but they wouldn't bat an eye.
Well, it's like that's par for the course.
It's just like it happens. I mean, it's like we've bought into it. We as consumers started this monster. We have to deal with it. This is where the story really starts to blow up. A Redditor went on to Reddit and put on a big post about this, basically stating how bad this is, their objections with it, yada yada yada, everything we just outlined, and then some. EA, their community management team, because every big company, even some indie titles, have community teams. They have teams that go out there, and that's what they do. They, respond to comments. They respond to questions. They manage the forums.
Boy, do they have my sympathies.
Yeah, I mean, they can have some pretty rough times. Well, the community manager, or one of the community representatives for EA on the official EA Reddit name, commented on this guy's story to basically say, well, this is our press release answer to your qualms. And this is when this entire thing blows up, because their answer was basically, we want to have our players feel a sense of accomplishment when they finally unlock a hero. Right, Tom? That's basically what it boiled down to.
Yeah, it's... I can't remember the exact quote. I'm trying to find it right now. But it's basically literally that. It's, we want you to feel a sense of pride in, oh my god, I've put in 40 hours and I've unlocked Darth Vader. And what happened to this comment, Brian?
Well, Tom, this comment, within less than a half a day, probably less than a quarter of a day, became the most downvoted thing on Reddit in history.
We're talking Reddit. We are talking the entire website of Reddit.
Okay, Reddit that has subreddits devoted to God knows what.
I think the second most downvoted thing was a thing that somebody said, give me up votes, and everyone downvoted it.
Yeah. And this is from the entire history of Reddit. Imagine how long Reddit has been around. This thing... You sound a bit nasally or sick. I don't believe I am, but thank you for the sympathy, cool. But no, I do not believe. I'm just like, oh, so you know what it is? I've been dealing with a lot of allergies lately, so that could be what it is. Oh. But thank you for the concern. But basically, this thing...
You like some medicine.
I've been taking it. It doesn't help, unfortunately. Oh. This thing has become the most downvoted thing, period, in Reddit's history. At the time of this podcast, it has already surpassed the negative 700,000 downvote mark. This is basically saying... I mean, there's probably some bots in there, so take this with a grain of salt.
Well, also, even people who are saying, oh, I got to be part of this.
But still, the most downvoted thing ever, and it's a Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA title comment coming from the official community members of EA. So, with this giant outburst from the community saying, this isn't right, you can't do this, we will not stand for it, this is kind of our stance on it, EA actually, I won't say to their credit, because listen to the end of the story first, EA said, they came out with a release and said, okay, We saw the downvotes. We saw the angry comments. We heard you. We want to do something about it. So we are cutting the price tag to all the heroes, all the pay barriers in this game by 75%. Now,
Great.
all of you are probably thinking, wow, that's incredible. 75% cut? That's big. They probably took it from like $20 to like $5. Well, that's not that bad at all. I mean, it's still bad, but it's not, that's something. They did a change. But they also cut your experience gain rate by 75%. So the players gain nothing from a play perspective, so you still have to grind out exactly the same amount of time per hero, but it's cheaper just to come out and pay for them. That's basically what they're trying to do. So they're now, not only are they trying to force you to pay money through the loot crates to get an unfair advantage, they're also trying to force you to pay for the heroes because you're going to die before you unlock your favorite character. And now, the entire internet, not even like fans, people who just like to make memes, the entire internet is now turned EA into the biggest laughingstock of the internet by putting constant trolls, memes, everything. EA right now is the biggest evil villain in internet.
EA is the empire.
Yeah, it's funny because also there was a the top, it was like the top rated, the top voted posting on the subreddit evil buildings or evil places was the EA headquarters. Like, they even did that. So it's getting to the point now within the past day and a half, 2 days this has been breaking. EA stock has already gone down $1 whole, which is, you might not think, oh, that doesn't sound like much, but in the stock world, that's huge. Like, that's big, and that's a trend, and that's trending down further. And this is to stack on top of the fact that all the first impressions say this game is kind of below lukewarm.
I wrote this down. I wrote this down so we wouldn't miss this fun. It's lukewarm. It's got a lukewarm reception.
The sad part is that's true. Oh, thank you, Arclight Arclighter with a 3. Thank you for joining the addiction. Thank you, sir.
All 3 of you, for joining the addiction.
But yeah,
hey.
So, and the sad part
is... you a little song. Arclighter. All 3 of them.
Wow, that was it?
That's what you get if you join. Just send us money, I'll write you a freaking song.
So you heard it here, folks. Any new follow or subscriber or donation gets a free Tamality copyrighted song. But
yeah,
and the sad
thank you for the follow.
Thank you very much for the follow. But the sad part is he actually did write that down before this podcast because I had to sit there and listen to it.
We were talking, you know, before the episode, like, about all this stuff.
I had a feeling it was you, Arclighter, but I wanted to give you a benefit of the doubt. One of the guys from my RPG group.
Well, it still counts. A follow is a follow. And a stove.
But yeah, so this whole thing then came down to, after this entire announcement of the fact that the EA got caught red-handed a second time with what they were trying to do to the community with this price cut, and on top of the fact that the initial reviews are pretty damn bad, I don't know, because me personally, I would love it if this game made zero return and EA just felt a major burn and a major profit loss because of what they just did. I'm super incredibly hoping for that, especially on the top of the fact that some people do wait to hear reviews before they buy something, and those people, with all this mixed together, might hold off buying this game. Now, I know, unfortunately, there's obviously very much upset people. Oh, I completely forgot this point. People were canceling their pre-orders so quickly, EA took it off as an electronic option and made them have to call in to cancel their pre-orders because people were doing it too quickly. That's shitty. That is super shitty. You have to trick people into trying to keep the money, or try to keep the money out there that they spent by sheer force of laziness in hopes that you might turn one extra game's worth of profit. That is extremely shitty.
Like, I know, and these are 2 different companies, sure, but like when Destiny 2 first came out and it didn't work with the Phenom 2 processors, and I was looking up threads on this, people were saying I put in for a refund, and I said, yes, it's incompatible with my processor. They understood. They gave me a refund. And
exactly.
I guess a good amount of people did this. Don't know if it was enough to cause what happened later, but ultimately, not even a week later, the processor was supported.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like, who knows where the cause and effect was, if any. But the point being, they were at least a substantial amount of people.
They tried to take away people's ability to get refunds. That is completely utter. That's like the oh my god.
I gotta go through. I'm looking at these memes, and I gotta say some of my favorites.
There's incredible ones on there.
There's one where it's the scene where Anakin's pledging to Palpatine, and it it's Anakin looking up at him, and he says, "Henceforth, you shall be known as just Anakin, because I haven't played 40 hours yet." So
exactly,
that's great. And there's also one with Obi-Wan and Anakin where he's the high ground scene. He goes, "You can't win, Anakin. I have purchased the high ground paid DLC."
Yeah, and this has been going on constantly.
Here's the one that's beyond meme into like Godbrain tier. Somebody has a screenshot and they say, "I just got into a heroes versus villains match," which is a mode. You can have a mode where you play just heroes.
Literally just heroes, yeah.
And it says, "I wasn't even able to play because all of my unlocked heroes were already taken." So what? Because
I think you unlocked them in order. So
this is a classic case of something that has happened before, where you have a company like DICE that made Battlefront under a publisher that is, in this case, seemingly consistently EA. And I can't pretend to know all the ins and outs of what's going on, but there is just this constant thread of business over consumer mentality, business mentality, publisher, profit, whatever mentality over consumer. It's like there are plenty of companies and games out there, Blizzard being one, that they put in their thing, they put in their Overwatch random loot chest, and we talked a lot a few weeks ago, is this gambling? Do those count as gambling? And it seems like what EA does is they read these things and they go with full gusto. It's almost like they're looking at a chart somewhere, or they heard a lecture somewhere, and they said, this is what we do, do it to the maximum. And it's like there's no like easing into it. Arguably you could say we've been easing into it for 10 years or so, but point being, it's like they just have come out, at least with Star Wars Battlefront 2, with every possible thing wrong.
Yeah,
it boggles my mind. I don't usually feel this way about anything.
They used every single kind of like evil AAA title developer strategy possible. Microtransactions, paywalls, cut content.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible.
Why was it? Did they think that this game? I'm trying to see the business mentality. Did they think this game was going to be so successful because it's a Star Wars game that we can put these things in
and it still sell because screw those nerds, they're going to buy it anyway?
Was there not somebody, even a little imp on some guy's shoulder, saying, maybe this is too far?
Unfortunately, that imp was being smothered by a dollar who was holding its mouth shut, going shh.
I know, capitalist society, money talks. Yeah,
but yeah, I mean that's the problem, and I really sincerely hope that this game crashes and burns. It's horrible to say.
I'm gonna say it right out. I'm not getting it. I know.
Yeah, neither am I.
I kind of want it.
After everything, yeah.
Well, the big thing for me is reading consistently across the board the story mode, the campaign. The one thing that I said, well, that could justify it, is 4 hours of
Yeah, they said it's
good.
It's good, but it's. They said the sad part is it's 4 hours, and they said it's probably the best part of the game. They even say the multiplayer, which is probably 90% of this game, is not that great.
Yeah. If I may make a suggestion, YouTube it.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best thing to do. But like I said, I know it sounds petty and horrible, and it's... I mean, I say I want this game to fail in the sense of I just want... Basically, the developers in this industry that have been putting forth these really horrendous business practices basically onto their own customers, where it used to be your customer's always right, you put your customer first. I would just love to see actual feedback go through in the sense of money talks. If we don't support something and we actually stand up as a community, hopefully they actually get the idea. If there's
they have one unfair advantage in that because it's EA, it's going to be launched through their Origin platform, which is not Steam. Steam has seen results. It's a sketchy practice, but Steam has seen games change because of review bombs.
Yes.
Steam has seen developers, including Rockstar, go back on something because enough people have come in to change the game from overwhelmingly positive to overwhelmingly negative. You know? So,
but at the same time,
they're not going to get review bombed, and the reviews that are coming out are like, yeah, it's an okay game. I don't know.
Yeah, but at the same time, if they get a quarter of the people that buy it that they expect to buy it, they're gonna have a huge loss for a quarter, and then that's gonna talk amounts. But like I said, I mean, wholeheartedly, when I played the beta, I wanted this game to be better. I was really hoping for a really great storyline. I mean, the only thing I liked about the beta was the Starfighter mode. If they made like 100%. Like a special like new age Star Wars TIE Fighter game that's based on the same engine, I would highly consider buying it. But I just hope that there's a reaction and a proper reaction from the community as a whole, just us as gamers, that we all sing Kumbaya together in the middle of in the virtual streets of the world and stand up to something. I mean, it would be great because it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, and this is taking those practices to a level that no one has ever seen before. That's the sad part.
I feel bad for DICE. You know, they're kind of getting the short end of the stick. They've made this game that I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about EA.
Yeah. You know, and it's like we've talked about it with BioWare. I feel bad for the team who actually literally made this game, because these are guys who went out and made these painstakingly gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful environments. Absolutely beautiful Star Wars.
And then they were told to change it.
And it's just like, okay, cool. You did a great job with this. Now we're gonna just come in and apply this and this and this kind of marketing strategy.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible, and that's the thing. And it's weird to say, but EA is becoming this really notorious name in the industry where there's a new story that came out the other day that said EA is looking to purchase the studio behind Titanfall and Titanfall
with
2.
The intention of a Titanfall 3.
Yeah. And the sad part is, everyone in the community, everything in the comments went, oh no, EA is going to kill another one. And that's the problem. EA is becoming, it's weird that such a large company is still able to exist when everyone hates them. It's getting to the point where anything that has an EA stamp on it, people instantly go, oh, this is going to be a step down in caliber. I mean, look at, the difference. I mean, BioWare was such a beloved studio, and then as soon as the timeline of EA purchased them, their quantity went straight down. I mean, or the quality went straight down, and it's just terrible. And we're not going to try to dwell on this too much because, like you said, we don't try.
It is something we've talked about on and off.
We talked about before, and like we said, we don't try to dwell too much on very salt-inducing things, but there's no way around it. Neither one of us is happy with this business practice. There really isn't a silver lining here. The only major silver lining that we could find is hopefully as a community we start learning as gamers, as each other, and actually start taking this stuff serious. Because it used to be like, oh, well, I'm going to play the game anyway because, I want the game. Everyone else will teach them lessons. I'm just going to play the game. No, we actually do need to kind of start looking at what people are doing and hold them accountable for it.
It sounds like that's in the process. It does sound like that's in the process.
This is one of the very first times. Yeah,
this is egregious stuff that they've done with this.
Yeah, this is one of the very first times where they had this much of an impact this quickly.
Yeah, the wool is not being pulled over people's eyes. People are thankfully, a lot of news outlets are openly reporting on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's hit a lot of news. It's hit an awful lot of news. So. Well, if you're interested in it, keep checking the headlines because they're everywhere. Like, we have one link on here that you'll be able to find in our show notes that you'll be able to see at any one of our audio hosting sites or at addictedloot.com. But literally any site you go on right now has this story. So you literally just put Star Wars Battlefront 2 in, and it's probably going to be the very first thing that comes up.
Yeah.
On to bigger and happier things. We get to talk about our playlists, which we actually had tons of fun with. Now, the very first one we're going to talk about, the past two podcasts, we've been doing iterative coverage of Destiny 2. The very first one was my first impressions. The second one was Tom's first impressions, my kind of like my end of story impressions. And now this one, we actually get to say, this is the beginning of our endgame impression series. So this is where Tom has completed the story, I've completed the story.
I hate the term endgame because I so associate it with like
MMOs.
the end. You've beat well, also you've beat the game, like you're done. But Destiny 2 just becomes a second game once you
end game in Destiny 2 just means you finish the story. And the same thing in MMOs. Like if you look at World of Warcraft, end game in World of Warcraft means you maxed out your level and you're just up to the special content. You're up to the second part of the game. Yeah. So in Destiny 2, we're at the stage now where we're past the end game. So we're past storyline, and now we're at the point where we're just doing all the ancillary stuff. The new
post game, maybe.
The new side quests, the new strike missions, the high tier strike missions, the raid, like all those little things that you can do now. Faction grinding, little things like that. All the little things that come with Destiny.
There's a whole heap of side quests that open up the patrols, things like that.
And you can
dailies.
Yeah, you can see part of this. I helped Tom finish the end of the story when we played on stream the other day. So you actually go on and watch our 1 or 2 hour VOD on what we did for Destiny 2. So with that, I want to start this out by saying, so Tom, what did you think of Destiny's story? Since you now went through it basically just about twice.
Yeah, because I just yesterday thought I'm going to start up a Warlock just for the sake of starting up a second character and kind of seeing what a different class, different set of stuff felt like, and B, I kind of wanted to do the story again a little bit. I liked it. I thought it felt like a really dumb Disney cartoon kind of story. It was like the bad guy is just irredeemably a big bad guy. The good guys are just no twists, no frills, the good guys. And it just was really, that's it. It was literally, here's Cade. He's the funny one. Here's Ikora. She's stern and introspective. You know, it just, here's Gaul. I am worthy. I am legend. I mean, I laughed out loud when he literally turns to the speaker, or he's talking about the traveler. He's like, we're not so different.
You and I. Yeah, that was one of the worst lines.
I'm like, that's hilarious.
I forgot about that, but yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah. It was literally, I think I said to you, it was like video game junk food. It was just kind of like, I liked it. It propelled me. The missions were big set pieces. You know, it's this one you're driving a tank. This one you're, doing this. It's kind of little special stuff here and there. The characters are no more or less memorable than they need to be. Yeah,
it's which is a shame. They grinded really, or they pounded everyone's personality hard in Destiny 2. Like Cade he's quirky, funny, and doesn't take things seriously. Oh my god, he's stuck in a little teleporter loop. Isn't he cool? Yeah. Like, it's just like, ugh. And it's just, I don't know.
I mean, it was simplistic in a way that I was completely fine with, honestly. I just really especially the second time around playing yesterday, because I almost finished the entire story yesterday. So for those who are curious, you can, with a full day, if I had started in the morning and played till night, I probably would have finished it. You do go through under-leveled. You are going to have to stop at some point and be like, I'm going to do some side quests, because I'm just...
It's mainly you get behind in gear.
Caps. Yeah, there are also actual level caps where it's like you have to be 15 to do this. You might be 12 at that point. But... I just got swept up in it, and again, the second time around, I liked it even more because I knew what to expect, and that was really nothing. And I don't mean that in any kind of insulting way. It's just a very paper thin veneer of a flashy cinematic story of, oh no, the bad guy has taken over, but we can rally all of ourselves together and defeat him. The end. That's literally it.
The story in Destiny 2 is really just a way of connecting all the missions together.
And I realized my second time through how they do actually tutorialize stuff, which I was complaining a little bit about that last week, where it's there's not a lot of stuff that's told to you. You have to either look up for guides or stuff. But then I realized that there's a lot of stuff where it's oh, this is showing me how loot chests exist in the world. This one's showing me how bye cameo. But you know what I mean? It's it all's defense. Hi Liz. Hi Mrs. Brian. Holy shit. Oh, ew. Oh, ewy. Cooties.
Addicted to loot, PG-13.
PG-13. Avert your eyes, kids. Sorry, audio listeners. Just missed that whole interaction. So, anyway. It was good. I liked it. I know some people were like, Star is dumb. Yeah. I don't know. It was dumb in a good way. It was big and dumb.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weird because the characters in Destiny 1, because they were brand new and they were still basically, you're exploring who these characters are. Mm-hmm. Destiny 1 was much better about character development and portraying the characters, and you got a sense of the characters. Destiny 2, the overall story, the overall mission layout, the quality of the missions themselves, this, the sheer scale, the cinematics, was so much better into it. To your point, the story was just over the top. It was super straightforward. There's really no twists or turns. But my God, these missions! I mean, there's literally a mission where you're outside of like a space station that's right next to the sun.
Oh my God, and you and I had the pleasure of doing that together. That was so much fun, because it just was like, they do it. Bungie does big well. They do like big scenery, big event, big ship,
big effects, big explosions. I mean,
very well.
You get swept up by the graphics of this game.
When that mission first starts off, you're on the surface of this ship, and it's just like, oh my God. It's just like your brain wants to explode because it's just so immense.
And between
almost frightening.
And between the really gritty the sound of the guns and the combat, plus the epic music that they choose to play. Yeah, the soundtrack of Destiny 2 is incredible.
10 out of 10 soundtrack.
All of this put together, just from a gameplay perspective, it's just so, you get so wrapped up into sheer like
the epic scale.
I mean it's like, if you think about if you ever were sinking into the seat of a movie where you're gripping the armchair going, how are they going to get out of this one? And it's Arnold Schwarzenegger like digging a minigun into an alien's face.
And you know that's all it's going to be. It's not like, oh, there's going to be a big twist or cerebral thing.
But you're sitting there like gasping for air because you're so excited and nervous at the same time. Like that's the kind of exhilaration it is. It's like it's exactly
very exhilarating.
It's exactly what you expect it to be, but in the best way possible. Like and
don't expect it to be a clever story. Don't expect it to be anything sharp or mind-blowing or mind-bending. It's just fun. Just have fun. And there was a point where I was playing and I actually had like this weird kind of nostalgia for playing games in like 9th and 10th grade.
Yeah,
which a lot of games at that period of time were Halo, like that.
Yeah, Halo-esque games.
Yeah, these games that were just like, oh, it's big, it's like a movie, and you're just like, oh wow, cool, because this is new. I haven't really felt this before.
It is really good. But
and I liked the side characters along the way, as in like the planet NPCs. Like I really like, I love Failsafe. She's this AI she's a malfunctioning AI, and she goes back and forth between being like hyper happy and like Aubrey Plaza.
She's an AI with two personalities. Yeah.
And she's like, I can help you, but I'm gonna be super mean about it. You know, it's just funny. But I love the cynical scientist guy. What's his name? Asher.
Asher. Yeah.
Because he's just this like grumpy cantankerous, like, what? I'm very busy. Like all the time when you talk to him, he's like, you are standing too close. It's just perfect voice acting. And there's one point when you do one of the public events where if you do the like heroic version, you like decimate it. You know, you go like, you do like bonus stuff on it. At the end, he's like, what is all this noise? And your ghost is like, oh, we just, took down this mining ship and also took down this captain and an entire Cabal excavation crew. And he lists off everything you did. And Asher is like, that's actually really cool. He's like, that's awesome. Okay. Like, I'm impressed. And so I just thought that was really funny. They do stuff like that well. And obviously these are the recurring characters after you finish the story that kind of come back in the strikes and the side quests and stuff come over your comms. So I think they had more, from what I can hear, had more fun with this one versus Destiny 1.
I think by now they knew what Destiny was.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to do it. Basically, they wanted to turn the Destiny dial to 11. I mean, they did.
Oh, I'm glad they did, because what I'm experiencing here, for the first time through, I'm enjoying it. I'm honestly loving it.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, Ark was saying that the scientist reminds me of, how do you say it? I don't even know. Gog Van Dyer. I have no idea what that even from, but sure. I don't have time to die. I'm too busy. Like, that's basically what it is. It's exactly what it is.
There's a great line that Cade says where he's like, I don't have time to explain what I don't have time to understand. I was like, that's the most me thing I've ever
said, yeah.
Yeah. But I liked Cade. I like Nathan Fillion. You know, and because I was worried when we were talking about before it came out, I thought, oh, is this like silly for the sake of silly? But no, I want to give Destiny's story and writing praise that I don't think it's getting anywhere else, because I liked it. Maybe I'm just a simple guy. That's all it takes.
Okay.
But and of course, continuing to play it. Now, here's the thing I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit. In the wake of all this stuff where we've been talking about loot chests for the past like month or two, and you know, addictive loops in games. The thing with Destiny, because I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it earlier today. I thought, is this game committing sins of gaming? Because it's like, oh, you're playing just to get the little engram that drops. You're trying to get the thing that's slightly better than the thing you have. And I've heard people, you know, lob complaints about it. I get frustrated. It's like someone says, oh, it's like a hamster wheel. I'm just like, you know, what the hell? I'm enjoying every minute that I'm playing the game. Like, I don't know how you feel about it, but I am enjoying the moment to moment. Especially with my hunter, the warlock. Yeah, I'm getting used to it, but the hunter, I love the motion of it. I love the shooting. I love the different guns. There are certainly ones that are my favorites, but I like the immediacy of it. It's very fluid. It's very flexible. Everything just feels like it happens really snappy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I very much, I enjoy wandering around the world. I love that they have these kind of like Tomb Raider-y things where you go into these like caves and you kind of find your way to a destination, fight guys along the way, and then you have a little mini boss fight at the end with a loot chest. It's like this guaranteed little diversion that you're going to have fun exploring. And I don't know, you know, I played a little bit more of the PvP. I thought, this is fun. I could sink into a night of just playing this, you know, the strikes. I could just get into a strike playlist and just do a night of strikes.
Which is what you're kind of supposed to do in Destiny.
Right. But it's like, there's so many things that I'm finding that I like about this game that I don't know. I don't see what a lot of other people say of like, oh, it's just, you know, you're doing this and you're doing this ad nauseum. It's like, I'm not playing to get to this end goal. I'm playing because I'm enjoying playing it. I'm enjoying playing this game right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm enjoying the end game now too, better than I enjoyed the end game of Destiny 1 initially, I should say. Mm-hmm. So they're definitely starting at a higher point. I do know there's it depends on how far they can go, because you know, you can only do so many things so many times. So Destiny really...
Well, sure.
But I mean, the end cap for Destiny is being basically just about maxing out your light level after completing every strike, every heroic strike, the raid numerous times, all the events, and then just doing massive amounts of PvP. There's going to be certain points where your character maxes out to the point where you have to wait until Expansion 2 or the second DLC or whatever else.
Right. But what makes that different than Overwatch, which is a game where you're doing the same thing every single time?
I mean, Overwatch, you have, they're so different because maybe from the PvP standpoint, but even from the PvP standpoint, you can only have up to 3 characters. Overwatch has God knows how many. There's different maps, there's different ways of doing it, there's different objectives. I don't know, they're 2 different beasts in my mind. But I've heard numerous people say...
Sure, it's a randomness of playing against a team of other people.
Yeah.
Who have their own per match different...
It's trying to argue there's a game that's purely PvP with a game that's only meant to be a subsection PvP. You know what I mean?
Right.
This game is PvP as World of Warcraft is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like...
I guess maybe a comparison then is like, what would be different than starting Skyrim over again?
Yeah, basically.
And saying, you know, I basically know what to expect. I've done all these quests before, but I'm going to start again because I like playing Skyrim. I like being in Tamriel. I like shooting the bows or swinging the swords. You know, that's how I feel about Destiny, at least right now, having played it for a month-ish.
And already? Oh, yeah,
yeah.
But one of the things that hurts Destiny 2 is that when they took out the random stat assignments for weapons and gear, it took out a lot of reasons to grind. Because it used to be that even if you didn't want to just purely grind, as you were doing different things, there is chances that you might just find a slightly better version of what you already have because they're randomly assigned. Now, you already know as soon as you find certain named gear, you already have what you're going to find. So a lot of people have said that not having the randomly assigned stats took away some of the need and urge to grind because there's just no reason to try to find something better because you already know what you have. You already know what's out there. You already know what you have. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying. Absolutely. I think the direction I'm coming in at it from is, are you playing it? Certainly, there's a point where you're playing it to get better gear because you literally need it. But then when that need drops off, is it still something that's worth playing because you enjoy it? Or is it like, well, now that I don't need to play it, I'm not interested in playing it. Like my hunter is power level's like 280 something. He's almost max. I'm sorry, did you know that? We had this.
I'll continue.
For those who were following our live stream over the weekend, we had this little back and forth of little mini tiff. Nothing major. Nothing major. A little disagreement.
Huh.
Of my power level kind of continuously going up at a ridiculous rapid pace. But it's fine. We sorted it out. We're still friends.
For now.
For now, at the moment. He says, looking over his shoulder, you're literally going to be here in like a week, so I should watch what I say. But anyway, point being, so I got my hunter. I got my hunter to a really high power level. There's still hundreds of like side quests and certainly I could do. I like dailies. I get invigorated by dailies. I want to do strikes. I want to do the stuff with you, the nightfall and things like that. I don't know if we'll ever have enough people to do a raid, but that would be crazy.
Oh, speaking of that, we have the official trademarked Addicted to Loot Destiny 2 clan.
Yeah, and it's the one that says let's have some fun.
Yes,
it's none of the other ones that say Addicted to Loot.
Yeah, there's at least one other addicted clan that's actually just called Addicted to Loot, which is bull. But no, that's
unbelievable.
Bungie didn't answer our petition, but still.
Yeah.
But
yes, we do have an actual clan.
Yeah. So anyone out there, if you're a listener, fan, friend, anything otherwise, please just drop us a line on Twitter, Gmail, anything. Just drop us a line, and we can send you an invite to the clan for right now.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just the two of us. Right now, it's invite only. That might change, but please, if you want to play with us, if you just want to be part of the guild, or
if you're looking for a clan to be a part of,
a clan rather, just please let us know. If you just want some people to hang out with, just let us know, and we'll add you right away. But
we're not like into organizing clan events or anything, but
we really just play to have the puns. So
yeah, exactly.
Have some puns and try not to die.
But anyway, I think the whole point of what I'm saying is that I at least still at this point very much enjoy Destiny 2. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say is that I got my hunter to a really high level, to the point where I'm not really looking for anything except gear from a cosmetic standpoint of like, oh, I really like that chest piece. I'd rather have that. It's the same power level or whatever. So
you're all black hunter.
Yeah, like I used all the like monochromatic and like I pledged to the goth cult or whatever they were called, the faction.
If Batman can make a Destiny character, that's what Tom is.
Basically.
Night Art Liquor, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for coming by. Yeah, he's got like Kevlar and stuff.
Everything. You're just missing a bat symbol on your chest.
Well, I have a bird on my cape.
Good point. Yeah.
I have a white bird. So
you're Birdman of Destiny.
That's very different.
You're Gothic Birdman of Destiny.
Dark Birdman.
Darth Birdman.
Darth Birdman. And so yeah, I started the Warlock up, and actually it was almost a little bit frustrating just because I had to get used to the Warlock versus the Hunter. But I want to start a Titan alt. I want to get that all the way through. And there is the kind of like, oh, this is a whole new set of gear. Oh, this is a whole new way of playing.
They each have their own visuals. I mean, they all have their custom visuals and things like that.
I can tentatively say I still see at least another month of, as the game is, pleasure that I can and probably will get out of it. In that time, the next expansion will come out.
At least, yes.
I think it's early December, so...
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's going to be coming out soon.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm enjoying the ride. I haven't seen a drop-off yet. We do this podcast every week. Ask me again in a couple of weeks. But right now, I'm really enjoying it.
Me too. I'm very much enjoying it. I would recommend it to anyone who has, a like for first-person shooters, some types of FPS MMOs, anything else like that.
One thing I do want to specify is I played almost the entirety of the story, besides the little bit at the end that we streamed, single player. The game works if you're a solo player. It certainly benefits from having a friend. When you and I started doing like strikes and stuff, it's like, oh, this is fun. Yeah, this is great.
I did my entire story playthrough, the very first one solo, so I can completely say that.
Because that was something I was curious about before the game came out. And yeah, it's a game that you can play. They got this like guided game system for strikes, and I can't tell because it's
guided game is for raiding.
Is it for raids only?
Yeah, because strikes are a 3-man team, so you can't really have a guided game.
That's true. All right. Well,
but the raiding, you can do guided raids.
Okay. They don't have Nightfall guided?
I thought Nightfall was only 3 people, but it could be...
You're probably right.
I thought it was 3 people, but it could be wrong.
Yeah, but even then, the point being that the strikes are 3 people, so it can be you and 2 randos. And
yeah, no one really cares.
Destiny has that great fact that there's no chat by default, so you can just kind of be like, "Hey, we're all going this way."
If you play with a strike with somebody maybe continuously, and you go, "Hey, you're kind of cool," you can still chat them. You can still send them a actual private message or something, but it's not apparent. There's not a streaming chat on the bottom of the screen or anything else.
Yeah, there was a point where I don't know if dailies are the same across everybody. But there was at least 1 or 2 guys. Sure. There were 1 or 2 guys. We were on the European Dead Zone, and I kept seeing them going to public events because I was doing them for the dailies. And so I thought, these guys are doing the same thing as me. At the very least, they're hopping from public event to public event. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's for a daily, or maybe they were just doing it. But I thought it was kind of interesting that, it's like, oh, I'm starting to recognize some of these names. I've seen these guys tonight, so.
But it's definitely, I would recommend it as well. It's really fun, having a great time with it. There's going to be a lot of love that goes into it more. There's at least 3 expansions slotted for right now.
3?
There's just 2. I thought there was 3.
I think it's just 2.
Maybe it is just 2. But I know
I'm going off of the promotional image I keep seeing on Battle.net, which has the 2.
I might be thinking of 3, including the base game. So maybe it is 2 expansions, and then 3 total with the base game. But Destiny 1 had at least 4 or 5. So I think it had 5. I know Taken King was the last one. I think that was the 5th. It was either the 4th or the 5th one. I can't really tell. But I thought it was the 5th one. So there's definitely going to be a lot of expansion. There's going to be a lot of content. And plus, with Destiny, they add other types of content. Meaning, like, there is one where it was a survival mode that the longer you survive, the better gear you got. Like, there's little things like that. So there's tons of stuff that they can add on into Destiny as they go.
And it's a persistent game, so they can change stuff without.
Yeah, they can change whatever, and you can. Nothing changes. You just log back in one day, and there's new things, and you go, "Hey, there's new things."
Yeah, so I'm into it as a persistent lifestyle game. It's the one I'm enjoying right now.
Yeah, and let's get so 2 big addictable thumbs way up. So the one other game on my playlist that I've actually played, I really wanted to showcase was the Hand of Fate 2. We kind of already talked about that right now. I'll just really summarize it just with my overall impressions of the game. Is if you liked Hand of Fate 1, get this game. It's a better version of Hand of Fate 1. Combat, I would say they improved it slightly. I don't know if some people did not like the combat in the first one. I had no problem with the combat. I thought it was
neither here nor there for me. It was like it was
it was good enough and enjoyable enough to motivate the story through.
It was challenging.
Exactly, it was challenging, and it was good enough. It didn't need to be super fighting, because the game wasn't meant to be a fighting game. It was meant to be, design your own story, design your own adventure. And it did that very well. Hand of Fate 2 does that better. I actually like Hand of Fate 2 more than Hand of Fate 1. So, like I said, if you liked Hand of Fate 1, go out and get Hand of Fate 2. You really won't regret it. I think the writing is better. The acting is better. The potential stories that you can have are better. They now have companions, which are a brand new thing. You actually can have allies within your combat and within your story. So you actually have companion storyline cards that you can only play when your companions are with you.
Yeah.
There's new types of gear. The visuals for the gear are better. There's actually a design your own character section now, so you actually get to customize your visuals.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's a brand new thing that you did not get in the first one. So they've added stuff onto it. They gave it love, and this gave it looks like it's going to be pretty darn long. And if you want an impression of it, you can always watch my video, but there's tons of videos out there right now. You can go on YouTube or Twitch and find them.
I really liked the first one, so I'm glad to. Yeah. When I was watching you play, I
highly recommend the second one if you played the first one. For anyone else, like I said, Hand of Fate 2 is really a design your own adventure RPG that takes place in the form of cards. If you like kind of, I wouldn't say like D&D, but kind of that kind of thing. Like if you like being able to...
Well, I think of this, this Pathfinder.
Yeah, it's basically this,
card game.
Yeah, if you ever like having a very interactive story, a story that you could basically interact with one. So I'd say really people should try this out. It's a really good game, and it really doesn't cost that much. It's like it's $20 something.
Yeah, it's got this really cool concept where it's playing like a tabletop game where you're playing cards out, and each card is an interaction. And when you have combat, you actually go into the card and you fight fight. But on the meta level, it's a tabletop game. You're playing with this guy across from you, and that's part of the game. It's not just like this is the surface. It's like this guy's talking to you.
Yeah, you're literally playing cards with a guy.
It's cool.
That's everything for me. So Hand of Fate 2, really great game. Go out and try it.
Cool. I definitely am going to get it.
This guy.
The only thing besides Destiny 2 that I played, I played a couple other little things, but nothing too substantial to talk about. I started playing, as promised, I got the Sims 4 Cats and Dogs expansion. Unfortunately, right out of the gate, it was incompatible with a heap of the mods that I had. So I kind of did a little finagling back and forth. I spent the bulk of the day on Friday when it came out just trying to get it to work with some combination of mods. The strangest bug that I had, because I was enabling and disabling mods in chunks, strangest bug I had is that I finally got to a point where I got into the game because it wasn't loading. I got into The Sims and I saw my character, and not only was he specifically not wearing pants, but my private parts were replaced with lady private parts.
What? How did what?
Incredibly specifically, that was what happened.
Well, that's just weird.
What combination of mods is doing this? I was just like, and it was great. It was because I was talking to my friend Caitlin, and I was just like joking around. I said, I hope I can play, but I better not lose my pants. Just joking, just being random and funny. And literally, not only did I lose my pants, just my pants.
You also lost your gender.
Underneath, I lost a little something else too. And so it's just like, oh boy. Okay, so ultimately, I kind of went in and out of it a little bit during the weekend trying to get it fixed. Finally, today, I was like, oh my god, I forget it. So I disabled all the mods and have just gone back into the vanilla game, which is fine. Most of my mods are just like, hairs and clothes and things like that. A couple of gameplay change ones, but whatever. I'll sort that. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Finally got in, opened up. First thing is that you got to now, just like the create a sim mode, you've got to create a pet mode. Specifically, it's cats and dogs. Holy shit. There are so many. There are breeds of cats that I never knew existed. It's everything, like from the get-go. It's just like, okay, you can create this type of cat, and here's 4 or 5 different kind of like basic things. And now, and you can also dress the cat up, and you can put a hat on them, or a cat in a hat. In French, chat chapeau. And you can then even paint on the specific cat or dog of your choice. You can literally go in and custom paint there like it's a car, like you have a little airbrush, you can paint designs onto them. So it's an immensely, like, I've never seen anything to this level, immensely well done animal creation mode. So of course I created a raccoon named Grilled Cheese.
What?
It's because a raccoon is one of the types of cat that you can have. And one of the headpieces is like a sandwich, and the default one looks like a grilled cheese sandwich. So I was like, great, that's my pet right there, grilled cheese raccoon. Give him a leather jacket, and so he's my pet. If you want to see pictures, there's some pictures on my Twitter. He's my child, and I love him. But finally getting to play with it in the game, they are so wonderfully done. Like, I've talked about this before a little bit. The Sims 3 was very much trying to go towards, especially in comparison to 2, being realistic, being kind of a little bit more lifelike and yeah, uncanny valley kind of stuff. I remember creating Josh Lasan, our friend Josh, and just being like, holy shit, that looks way too much like him. Like, I want to just like mess up the face a little bit so it's not as weird. But then The Sims 4 comes out and it's far more cartoony to its absolute benefit, to absolutely in its favor. Everyone's more expressive. Faces are like, cartoony, wild. The coloring and shading is flatter. And I love it. I really like it for that. And so the animals just, oh my God, like Grilled Cheese face. He's so expressive. He just absolutely is doing things. And you're like, that's a cat. That's what a cat does. Or a raccoon in this case. But like, that's, just the little motions of it, like walking around and like the way it looks up in the sky and just the way it kind of tilts its head and the eyes and the mouth and stuff and sticks its tongue out a little bit. It's just really on the nose. Like, that's all I've really done. I've done like some interactions around the house and stuff. And actually I spec'd him to be kind of a curious kind of rover. So he just started walking around the neighborhood and just finding things and whatever.
The raccoon did?
Yeah. And with his little grilled cheese headpiece. And it's really great. I like the way that they have the animals actually have their own AI. You can, you could call them or things like that. You probably could summon them back to your home, I would imagine. But at the end of the day, they're their own thing. And the way that you communicate with them is like you actually talk to them. It's like, hey, do you need something? How you doing? And they'll indicate like, I'm tired. I'm hungry. I have to pee. Like, they'll give you visual indicators. So from an actual like Sims gameplay perspective, that's in quotes, that's really fun and interesting. But also just, God, the sheer amount of cats and dogs in this, it makes my heart happy. So very good so far. I haven't even looked at the new map yet, Brindleton Bay. They've added a veterinary career path, all sorts of stuff that I haven't even begun to touch. New clothes, new household items, of course. It's all got this kind of like rustic theme, which is cool, kind of almost like coastal. Like if you have a house in Martha's Vineyard, this is what you'd have inside that house. So yeah, Sims 4, cats and dogs. Barely scratch the surface and I'm already happy. So
that's good.
Yeah, it seems like it's keeping in theme. I'm bummed about not having any of my mods. I don't know what I'm gonna do because even just like putting some of the cosmetic mods in, it's like really kind of jacked up some of the stuff. Some of my favorite mods are just entirely incompatible, so it's like, okay. But The Sims is a great game at its base level. You don't need them. You don't need these mods. If you're the type of Sims player that I am, it's kind of like, oh yeah, but I miss these hairs that I had, or these, these clothes, these specific, like I
miss my Mass Effect mods.
Well, I have a really specific pair of jeans that I like, and it's kind of like, there's none of the in-game jeans ever felt quite like this pair of jeans does. So, yeah, that's my pitch for Sims 4 Cats and Dogs. I'll be certainly popping in, doing more and more of that as I go.
Yeah. And our free game of the week, our weekly.
This is not a cheap one at all. This is our. By cheap, I mean us being cheap.
Yes, this is our weekly feature that we do. That basically we tell you guys about a free game that you can enjoy as soon as you hear this podcast. As soon as you finish up and end with us, you can go over and play this game to your enjoyment. And this week, to no surprise, it is StarCraft 2. It's free. It's not a cop-out. It's an actual free game. We covered it numerous times. It's a great game. You should go out and try it. It's an RTS.
This is just us putting in a double pitch because
exactly. We are just staying true to our guns here. We're definitely telling you, you know what? We'll double the free game of the week this week and say you should also check out Overwatch because that is another great free game.
Good one. Yes, Blizzard is our free game of the week.
Yeah, Blizzard is our free company of the week. StarCraft 2 and Overwatch. Please go check them out and let us know what you think of them. We'd love to know what everyone else thinks.
Truthfully, please, if you think Overwatch, just anything, like, I want to know what that's like. Free, go play it. It's nothing's hidden, nothing's held back. It's the entire thing for free.
Yeah,
this weekend.
And hit us up if you need any friends to play with. We'll gladly help anyone through it. But you can find all this and more at our website, which is addictedtoloot.com. You can get access to our email, which is addictedtoloot@gmail.com. You can get links to our Facebook, our YouTube, our Twitch, which is twitch.tv/addictedtoloot. We also have a Mixer page, and... Exactly, the Microsoft version of Twitch Mixer. We also have a Mixer page if you want to go check that out. We do YouTube as well as YouTube Live. The audio versions of this podcast are hosted on iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. You can get access to our group Twitter, which is @AddictedToLoot. That is the number 2. You can get access to our personal Twitters, where you can just come hang out with both of us and just talk games.
Do you want to see pictures
anything
of grilled cheese the raccoon?
Go at Tomality, which is @TOMALITY, and I'm @ATL_Atomic0. But also, you can also get links to our Green Man Gaming as well as our Humble Bundle partner links as well. So please go check all that out. And like we said, we love you guys. This is what we do this for. Thank you, everyone who supports us and keeps listening to us. We would love to hear from you. Please let us know thoughts, sounds, concerns, everything. Let us know. But until then,
keep it lukewarm.
You are just